Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for calling this important hearing, and thank you, Secretary Wormuth and General Austin, for taking the time today to answer our questions. It's deeply appreciated. It's been 1 year since President Obama announced to the world that the United States would undertake a strategy to degrade and defeat ISIS in order to return some semblance of stability to Iraq and create an environment that could lead to a negotiated end to the civil war in Syria. It was my belief that President Obama's overall goal and the strategy he outlined to achieve that goal may have been beset from the outset by some flawed assumptions, some contradictions, and perhaps an excessive reliance on political forecasting in a region of the world that is anything but easy to predict. Now, this, compounded by a string of recent events, is why I think it may be time for us to reassess the way the United States views this conflict and chooses to respond to it. And I think we need to start by making clear-eyed threat assessments and prioritizing U.S. national security interests. General Austin, what's your assessment of the most significant threats that the conflict in Syria and in Iraq pose to the security of U.S. citizens and our freedoms? In other words, at the end of the day, what needs to be accomplished for the U.S. government to fulfill, to perform its constitutional duty to protect the people of the United States and our interests?
This is, thank you, Senator. This is a transnational threat, and if left unchecked, it will continue to expand and to try to take up or occupy territory and govern. In doing so, it will try to erase international boundaries. It will try to do a number of things that will cause tremendous pain and suffering throughout the region. It will also export terror. In my belief, it will export terror to other parts of the world, and particularly to places like our homeland. We see the beginnings of this in this lone wolf activity that we talk about. We also see, or we are concerned about, individuals who go into Iraq and Syria and fight as a part of this effort, and potentially return back to our homeland and bring those skills back with them. So this is it is a threat to us, and I think the threat will continue to increase.
Now, the administration's strategy is to create an environment in Syria that will be likely to lead to a negotiated settlement of the civil war and result in the removal of Bashar al-Assad from power in Damascus. In your professional military opinion, General Austin, and given your knowledge of the region, what level of pressure would need to be leveraged against Mr. Assad and his supporters in order for them to capitulate, especially as many Alawites and other minority groups view some opposition groups as a threat to their survival, and how much investment would be needed from the coalition countries in order to provide security and stability in a hypothetical post-Assad Syria?
I think that Assad would only be willing, as you have stated, Senator, to come to the table to negotiate a settlement if he feels like he is threatened. And as things continue to develop in the country, we see a number of elements, al-Nusra Front, others that are fighting the regime, ISIL. Their efforts come together and place increasing pressure on Assad. He is losing. He still has significant capability, but he's losing capability every day. Now, the wild card is when countries like Iran or potentially Russia could possibly move in and shore him up. It could extend things for a bit of time. Now, in a post-Assad environment, we have to consider that there are a number of elements there that will continue to be there and will continue to fight. Al-Nusra is one of those elements. If there are remnants of ISIL there, they'll continue to fight. So it will require some sort of stability force to go in and make sure that, that whatever the transition government looks like, it has the ability to do its job. So.
Thank you, General Austin. I see my time's expired. Thank you, Chairman.